And that's how we won Rorke's Drift. It was glorious, I tell ya. If only you could have been there. About time you got here. You're 2 days late. I believe they are, how to say, fashionably late. And who, may I ask, are you? This is Private Detective James Pemberton III. Detective, this is Inspector Jacques Baumier and Colonel Jacob Hicks. The pleasure is all yours. So, what's the case here? As you know, one of the De Beers Mining Company trains was robbed of its gold and diamond cargo a few days ago. The fireman and engineer are presumed dead, and the conductor, well, you can see for yourself. There's something wrong here. This spear seems to be of native origin. It's Zulu. I beg your pardon? The spear is of Zulu origin. I've lived in South Africa long enough to know a Zulu crafted weapon when I sees one. And who might you be? MacArthur. Henry Philip MacArthur. At your service. I'm the one who stumbled across this poor chap while I was taking one of my nature walks. I see. Very good. And who's this stuffy-looking chap over here? Mr. William Armstrong. He's a representative of the De Beers Mining Company. Greetings, Detective. I hope you found your trip comfortable. I'm quite relieved to see you here. You are highly recommended by Scotland Yard. Am I now? Will be the first time they've actually said anything nice about me. Anyway, so the company had a shipment of gold and diamonds on the train? Yes. Ever since that gold rush in Johannesburg a few years ago, the company has been mining this stuff almost non-stop. Be a lot bloody easy to ship if it wasn't in the Transvaal Republic. Bloody old boas. So, what security precautions are taken on your trains to ensure the safety of the cargo? The government has been kind enough to station a guard on each shipment, although this time apparently, he wasn't on board. He is over there. And what's your name, soldier? Private Edward Dowding, sir. I understand you were supposed to be guarding the cargo. Yes, that's right. However, I realised I'd left my musket behind and I ran back to get it, but by the time I got back, the train had already left. Did you inform the conductor of your dilemma? No, it wouldn't have done any good, sir. They have a tight schedule to keep, and they were already running behind. They couldn't have waited for me even if I told them. I doubt they even knew I was off the train. Curious. Well, looks like what we got here is a simple train raid by a group of natives. The spear seems evidence enough of that. But what use would they have for diamonds and gold? Especially stolen diamonds and gold. And according to MacArthur, that spear is of Zulu origin. No, it was not natives. It was obviously a doubting. His story is full of holes and irrational explanations. I'll bet he was on the train all along. He is certainly suspicious. I suggest we question him further. Oh, he's dead. Stuck with the poison dart. Oh, well, bugger. Let's go over the evidence one more time. I'll bet it was the butler. It is always the butler. Rogers, get back in your box. You can serve drinks later. We'll start with the dart itself. It appears to be Zulu as well. Made from snake poison, I might add. Well, there certainly seems to be a recurring theme with these murders. Get on with it, Pemberton. Who's behind all this? Who indeed? At this point, any number of us could be the culprit. However, only one of us, I'm assuming, was responsible. Only one person had the drive to pull off such a foul scheme. But how? Surely there was the motivation of diamonds and gold, but This is far more complex than that. The culprit went to great lengths to keep their identity a secret, going so far as to kill off their accomplice to keep his mouth shut, and use native weapons to shift the blame. Wait a minute. Native weapons! That's the key! What in the Sam Hill are you talking about, boy? Don't you see? Out of all these suspects, only one person had the money, power, influence, drive, and resources to mastermind this plot. Someone with a position. Someone with considerable power over private doubting. Someone with extensive knowledge of the train's cargo schedule en route. Someone with access to Zulu weaponry. Isn't that right? Sergeant Major Morris!
What? That's preposterous!
Is it now?
Have you gone daft?
I might ask you the same thing. You seem a bit flustered, Morris.
He's completely mad!
You used your military rank to intimidate Private Dowding into working for you. You had him kill the crew and stop the train in the middle of the desert where you could easily snatch the cargo. You avoided suspicion by suggesting me to Armstrong. You tried to throw me off the trail by following me around and assisting me. And when you spotted Dowding about to crack under the pressure, you murdered him. Using natal weapons, I might add, that you thought no one could trace back to you. But you made one fatal mistake. On our way here, you let it slip that you fought at Rorke's Drift, fighting off an army of Zulus. MacArthur previously identified that spear that killed the conductor as being of Zulu origin. Would you not have had the perfect opportunity to take Zulu weaponry after the battle was won? You could then give that weaponry to Dowding for him to use as a red herring. You didn't think it probable that anyone among us would be able to identify that weapon. How ironic that your untraceable tool of murder is exactly what traced me back to you.
Well, Detective Pemberton,
You're quite clever. Give up. You can't escape.
no.
Bugger. Now all that remains is why did you do it?
Rorke's Drift. We were dreadfully outnumbered. 3,000 Zulu to less than 200 of us. And yet against all odds, we won out in the end.
And for what?
Only to have the Boers come along and take all the gold and diamonds? We bested the Zulus, but we've yet to best the Dutch. So yes, I tricked Dowding into helping me steal the diamonds and gold. It was to be the first of many incidents which I would frame on the Boers. With valuable British property stolen by the Republic, the Empire would have no choice but to declare war and annex the Republic, gaining the gold and diamond deposits and bringing all of South Africa.
Phew. He was starting to go on like that Cecil Rhodes chap. With an ego this big, no wonder he got caught. But what about the diamonds and the gold? Oh. I suppose we'll have to wait for him to wake up to figure out where they are.